Nó xí nó chê bé mù chanh con thằng đó. Ok. Sure, mù chanh gõ luôn. Ok. Ồ. Dạ rồi. Ê, ước thay lại này thôi. Sữa nó để bay bé bé một chai luôn con nó nữa. Nó để xin nó bé rồi không con nữa. Bé rồi không con nữa, bé giống nó có nhiều người họ rồi trong phố.
Ladies and family resident in left-hand side, men's on the right-hand side. Name is Victor, going to be your tour guide. If you all have questions about buildings and architecture, around here,
Xin nó bé giờ mù đấy, chia lại lụt ta sẽ gì mù.
Back to the roof on the Wrigley. Second setback for a building across the river, and third setback for the building next door. Daytime hours, the glass is bright reflective. When dark, it is clear and transparent. You can see directly in that space. You will then notice the floors.
Lúc này giờ hoa tại trăng luôn. Một chậu nữa.
During evening hours, you see these columns rising behind the glass. 16 and 30, the hotel space. Then to the top are condominiums, built between 2005 and 2009. There to our left, that dome on top, initially called the Jewelers Building, but completed back in 1926, the house of large jewelry firms. Those temples on the corners designed to hide the water tanks to control the original sprinkler system. That dome on top, late 30s, early 40s, was a restaurant and bar called the Stratosphere. There's also a rumor that when the building first opened, there was a speakeasy in that dome on top, often visited by Al Capone. The Al Capone part is a rumor, but it's a rumor that I spread. To our right coming up, the steel and glass Miesian and modernist black box was in fact designed by one of the fathers of modern international architecture, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, whose very famous motto was less is more. The strip buildings out of the bare minimal. Originally, One Idea Plaza, now the American Medical Association Plaza. Mies came to Chicago from Germany back in the late 30s, became head of architecture at IIT. He designed the Seagram building in New York City, TD Center in Toronto, Lafayette Park in Detroit, and the Barcelona Chairs. As we clear State Street here to our right coming up, Cobbler referred to the twin corn cob towers. In reality, we're going to have Marina City, built between 1960 and 64, designed by architect Bertrand Goldberg, to attach with the Germany to study in East van der Rohe in a school called the Bauhaus. So this area going to have per floor. Former office building, now a hotel. Former theater, now the House of Blues. Small shops and restaurants on site. Marina at the base. Virtually a city within a city. An introvert's paradise. A movie came out back in 1980 on the Huntresses. Notice that the space here to our right coming up is being framed and hemmed in by the textures on these three buildings. First, dark tinted bay windows, Western Chicago, River North, 87. The background, the flat reflective glass pours up a banking from 2009 into our right coming up. Vertical aluminum moldings, 321 North Clark Street, 1988, Skidmore, Owens and Merrill. 4.5 years ago, they built out 35,000 square feet, a restaurant space on 4 different levels. And back in 2016, a roughly 30-story tall building was approved to be built to our right. That small gap, it's going to have some office space, some hotel rooms, never got built. I think they may go on residential, so I have my eye on that corner. As we clear Clark here to our right coming home. Now notice the left-hand side is 1 bay shorter than the right. Now that's because they built this bridge across the river back in 1928 and widened the roadway. It demolished the westernmost bay and reclaimed what was left to look like it originally did. Rising up 785 feet, the modern, glassy, and reflective 300 North LaSalle, a Picard Children Architects out of New Haven, Connecticut, clad with an abundance of aluminum. A very nice two-level riverfront. The steakhouse is yummy. So before down here, I like the contrast
gì là đứa trọ cá lọ thì nó học sợ nó bé trai để lúc nào giờ kỳ đua nữa.
The base of the building visually anchors the structure of the ground. The shaft draws your eye up. The corners from the top to finish things off.
Đây lúc nào bé trai thì dỗ mồ lên đời. Xa chỗ trí là thì đó nữa.
1984.
Là hết đây cho chị tới chị chi nó nhỏ nhỏ bộ quá chết xá bây nhau nói sẽ cho số số tiền mỗi chết đá tao rồi. Flanked by 2 residential buildings, Wolf Point East 2020, Wolf Point West running north along the lakefront itself. Once they got to the old city cemetery, some people would jump to the empty grave pits of that cemetery for protection. In those years, that cemetery was being relocated from the lakefront because of the high water table. Today, that same piece of land is now called Lincoln Park. Taller, limestone-clad building to our northeast, graceful setbacks, and 30-foot statue on top, Chicago Board of Trade Building, 1930. Now you can't not talk about it. So you know what? Good on them. Built 1971. And to our right, in this next gap, the granddaddy of them all. A beautiful, albeit neck-breaking and breathtaking view you can see of the Sears Slant. Don't you ever call about their other in my presence? Tower. It's supposed to start now called the Willis Tower. I cannot accept that. Tallest building in the world from 1974 to 1996. Architect Bruce Graham, engineer Foster Khan, Skip Moore owns the barrel. With an 10-story tall building rising to a height of 1451. Just to the roof. Broadcast antennas which goes far and not considered architectural and don't count the height. They did 1729. Building itself composed of 9 tubes bundled together. The building itself ascends in height. Those tubes drop off to different floors. Also the willow and sway overall strength of the building. On a crystal clear day, air-wise like today, the C4 stays at the top. Illinois will be honored and to the southeast. Michigan to the east across the lake, Wisconsin to our north. Daylight hours got 3 minutes longer on top versus ground level because of your elevation. Building itself engineered to sway to 18 inches in very, very, very high winds. It lost its title of being the world's tallest back in 1996. The twin tallest towers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia opened up by Caesar Kelly. One of these spires on top, like Trump Tower, the Franklin Empire State, which count, with Sears John, broadcast antennas, which don't count. That's pretty much like me, standing here by tippy toes and wearing high heels and claiming to be 5'7". But there's a total downright lie. Never have been, never will be. 5, 4.5, thank you very much. Doesn't matter though, all been blown out of the water by the Middle East. The Burj Khalifa over Dubai is 2,717 feet, putting John Hancock on top of Sears. Right now, this country has a height limit of 2,000 feet because of the FAA. It's not been torn down. That was a bad move. In fact, it was dumb. They don't build stuff like this anymore. It's way better than that. You can't have old stuff if you don't let it get old. Slab of limestone to our left currently is 2 North Riverside Plaza. I like the original name from 1929 better. Chicago Daily News building by Holliburg and Art Deco. And only time being, in front of his far left, the headquarters of Boeing, who did that in like 2001, 2002. Building itself, 2009. Again, same number, it's 150 and to our left. The height to the ratios are off the charts. Now, more on top buildings, Cho nó lo cho nhau đi rồi mình
secondary fire suppression system. On the tower inferno. That's an example of that. The other stuff is out of sight, out of mind, level, partial pedestrians.
But of course, some of the car chase scenes from The Dark Knight and Blues Brothers take place on Lower Wacker. If you've never seen the Blues Brothers, you're missing a lot in life. It's a great classic. Never seen that movie? Recommend that you do. It's hilarious even 43 years later. Here, late 80s, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If it's in the babysitting, Chucky, the first Child's Play. More recently, I have TV shows like Chicago Fire, PD and Men, and Blair McClark, tonight version of the film here, Transformers 3. There was a Bollywood movie called Movie, and many more. And those in the 70s, Holy High, and Only for Good Times. For the 80s, Family Matters, and Perfect Strangers. Just to open, those were Blues, just to opening, Barbara Shop 1 and 2. And before my 26th floor, that first gap is, that's when the economy created back in 2008, ELAND. Short version, boat tied up here to our right. It was going to take 2,500 people to Michigan City for their picnic. Thus always had balance and balancing problems. They added extra lifeboats. It was 3 years at the Titanic, top-heavy, unstable, not designed very well. They rolled over onto its side right here in the river, killing more than 800 people. On July 24th, 1915. As we clear Clark into our right, coming up, gonna have pediments for the doorways, pediments on top. Kind of reminds you of a Greek temple or a government building. Postmodern, 1992. 77 West Wacker, in the colorful field of Spain, Jim DeStefano of Chicago. Clad with an abundance of white Portuguese granite. If you ever saw The Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson, you may recognize that building. You step down one of the rootless and somewhat stubby 55 West Wacker, 1968. Echoing Art Deco, 1989. Say, over the Trump Town, Burj Khalifa, where's NBC headquarters? 31, Art Deco and Screenline. Taking some personality from 30 Rock's at verticality, some personality from Tribune Town with the flying buttresses, and meshing everything together. Sculpture here to our left on the bridge, Chicago. Townhomes along the base finished in 2005. This past spring, one of those townhomes was for sale, 4,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms. Rooftop deck was listed for $2.6 million back in 1916. Then after the name here to 1927. Takeoffs and landings on aircraft carriers. Hopefully got to 1990s and current Ferris Wheels 2016.